Welcome to a few moments on the Parsha. I'm standing in a shul known as the Young Israel of East Talpiot, which is in Armon HaNetziv in Yerushalayim, Ir HaKodesh, not far from where we live in Arnona and where my daughter Hannah Malka lives with her husband Rav Shmuel Aaron Shor. We're going to be discussing from the beginning of the Sedra, right by Sheni, Moshe Rabbeinu says, Eicha Esel Avadi, how can I alone bear all the burdens of Klal Yisrael? The word Eicha, of course, reminds us of the Eicha that we're going to be saying on Tisha B'Av. Unless Mashiach comes first, then it's turned into a Yom Tov. But at this point, we're getting ready, right in the middle of the 9 days, for that statement. What did Moshe Rabbeinu mean when he said, how can I alone bear it? Moshe Rabbeinu was the one who took us out of Mitzrayim. He's the one that HaKadosh Baruch Hu trusted to the point where he said, Pe al pe adaber bo. I spoke to him mouth to mouth, so to speak, face to face. How is it possible that Moshe Rabbeinu could say, I cannot alone bear it, implying that we need others to help me along with the bearing of it, which in fact is what the Pasuk tells us. So, in order to explain this, Aaron Ziegler, you should have a Refuah Shlema, quotes Rav Pam Zal, who explains the Gemara in Ksubas and Daf Kuf Hey Amud Beis. Over there, the Gemara is discussing how a bribe can be not only in terms of money, but even in terms of something someone does for you that will make you feel that you're indebted to them. For instance, by Shmuel it says that he was about to cross a bridge and he needed a hand to help get across. Someone gave him a hand, and then he asked Shmuel to be a judge, and Shmuel declined. He said, I can't because I've been indebted to you over the fact that you gave me a hand which I couldn't have done on my own. Rabbi Shmuel ben Rabbi Yossi, the Gemara tells us, had a sharecropper who always brought him his sharecropping that he owed to him on Fridays, and one week came to him and brought it to him on Thursday. And Rabbi Shmuel said to him, well, how come you're here now and you brought it so early? And he said, well, I was in town and I needed to come to you for a judgment, so I figured I might as well bring what I owe you a day early. And immediately he said, I can't be a judge in such a case because I'm indebted to you because you did something good for me that I couldn't have done on my own. And by Ameimar, the famous story about when someone noticed that he had a feather that was on his hat that blew over, and his hat was soiled by the image of the feather, and the man went over and took the feather off his hat, and then he asked Rabbi Yossi to be a judge for him. He said, I can't be a judge for you because you've done something for me that I couldn't possibly have done for myself, and so I'm indebted to you. And consequently, my heart will be leaning towards judging you favorably, which I'm really not allowed to do. Rav Pam, in explaining this Gemara, asks the obvious question, is it true that if someone does something for you, automatically you can't be a dayan in this case? What's operating here? What's behind this particular sense of I owe you, even though it's insignificant seemingly, and I couldn't be an honest and fair judge? And Rav Pam Zatzal so beautifully explains, when someone does something good for you, he is showing you ahavas chinam. He's showing you love for no reason, just to help you out. There are so many examples in our lives where people do good things for us. Fathers for sons and daughters, mothers for daughters and sons, husbands and wives for each other, rabbis and congregants. People, one to the other, walk into shul in the morning, say good morning, I hope you have a great day today. They wish each other well. Each and every one of these things creates a sense of togetherness and friendship and breeds ahavas chinam. And so Rav Pam says, it's been 2,000 years. We haven't been able to get rid of sinas chinam. Maybe we need to take the lessons from these great Amoraim, that as soon as someone does something for you, you have such a wonderful, warm feeling in your heart. You can't possibly think bad about them. And if every single one of us would recognize all the good that we do for each other, all the kindnesses, all the nice things that one Jew does for the other, immediately we'd have tremendous sense of hakaras hatov and ahavas chinam. And this would bring about that the sinas chinam would be wiped away. Maybe that's why Moshe Rabbeinu said I can't do it on my own. It's got to be Klal Yisrael that gets together. And each one recognizing the good that one does for the other, that is going to bring about that the Ahavas Chinam spreads itself out. And therefore we won't say Eicha anymore. And we won't have Sinas Chinam. And the Beis HaMikdash will be able to be rebuilt speedily in our time. What a beautiful explanation to take us into this very difficult time of mourning, where we can now practice and put into place this Ahavas Chinam to get rid of the Sinas Chinam and bring about that the Mashiach Tzidkenu comes Mehera Yameinu. I want to take this opportunity to wish everyone a wonderful Shabbat Shalom Umevorach.